Hi guys, Anika here, and in this video, I'm going to show you how I have used AI to define the brand foundation for a client. And I've also attached a template so that you can use the same template, answer the question, feed it with your AI. Now, the problem with if you just talk directly with AI and like you just tell that you have a membership site, you have these courses and so on, and then you haven't really defined the your brand foundation yet. The way it's gonna talk to you is it's gonna be very generic. Like if how Claude or ChatGPT or whatever company, Grok, Kimi, and so on, orchestrated how their AI should work with a customer, then it's gonna end up sounding like that for you. Instead of you want it to be more custom, right? You want it to speak your language. And again, that's because it's missing this one document, which is your brand foundation. So before, when I was new in using AI, it also sounded very generic, but I know that you need to customize your account, like provide instructions, group it into a project so that it talks better, outputs better, right? But that was still not enough, and you could improve that more if you define clearly your brand foundation and then make that as the compass or master guide for your account, right? So again, your AI is going to sound generic because it's missing the brand foundation. So any tool that you use, it's going to be like this. And again, defining your brand foundation is going to help you a lot. Now, even if you give it your website link, share your documents and so on, the outputs is gonna be still similar. It's gonna still feel or sound generic. And again, it's because you haven't provided it your branding foundation yet. Now, you could use ChatGPT, Claude, Kimi, Grok, whatever that is, and it's still gonna output or sound generic. And again, once you provide your brand foundation, who you are, who you serve, what you promise, how you sound, written down in one piece, this compass is going to be used in each pieces of your project or chat or output. And it's going to always point to that, or it's always going to use that as reference. Now, personally, I'm still working on um, our brand foundation as well. A lot has changed since we started as a team, but it's still membership platform, but the way we build things has changed or improved as times goes by. So this brand foundation doesn't mean that you've defined it now and that's it, right? Market keeps on changing, your product keeps on changing, so you need to make sure your brand foundation is always up to date, always aligned with your marketing team if you're working with a marketing team, so that it says the right words and it guides all of your team, whether that's support, content strategy, web developer, designers. It's gonna use that as a compass, and I'm gonna show you in a bit how we have put that in the app so that each team members see that and use that as our guide. So 7 areas and one source of truth. Again, define what you do, positioning, voice and story, audience, products, proof, and what you're focused on. Now there's 5 gaps that everyone skips, and these are the items. So competitors and objections. So you need to also define who you're up against and what people say before they say no. Voice and origin. So how you actually talk and why you started. So pricing, meaning real numbers, what thing cost and why. And then testimonials, so client words and proof that AI can invent. And then numeric target, so where the business is going and what's your target sales for the next quarter and so on. So you need to include that in your document. So in here, I'm gonna show you how we have done this. So here's an example, and this was the app that I have also showed you in the past video. So this one, we have built this app as a compass for this business. So we're slowly connecting one by one accounts in here, and this is gonna be our source of truth, right? All data is reflected in here. That way, we don't need to switch to YouTube, to analytics, and so on. We could use the data in here and example use that to discuss in a meeting, present that to different departments of in the business, make sure that each department in the business is in the same page, same vision, same goal, everyone understands where the business is currently. So again, it's gonna be like your compass. Now, if you're just started to work with AI, you could just put this in a document or ask Claude to present this in maybe an HTML form with visual representation if you're a visual person. But if you end up building something like an app like this one, the main advantage with this is when your team signs in, they see this. They're not gonna, it's impossible for them not to know that this page exists because you're gonna guide them that this is what we do, who we are for, this is our promise, and this is our number one goal right now. So with this, your team is gonna be in the same page. So once example for this one, since this is an app, we have the questions and then some questions here still need some answers. So this one, I'm going to work with the client to answer this question. But as you can see, they have already defined some of the questions, and this is going to be our guide, right? So again, if you think there's some questions that is not included in the document that you feel like you should answer and include in your compass and your brand foundation, feel free to include that. There's really no right or wrong with this. The main goal is for you to put everything in one place, define each of your sections, like what you do, positioning, target audience in the same one place, provide detail as much as possible, and then feed that to your AI so that it can help you design a page like this or a document like this that you can share with your team, right? So with this one, if example, let's just say there's a new team who just joined, right? It's not gonna be like you starting from the top, like this is what we do, this is blah blah blah, and so on. Instead, you're just gonna share this page, maybe discuss that in the meeting, and then you're gonna be like, for I think having this as your guide is gonna be much quicker to be aligned with what you're trying to do rather than just keeping it in your memory or scatter around the place. Having it organized like this is gonna help your process, your system, right? So again, this is just one example format. Doesn't need yours doesn't need to really look like this. Could be document, could be just an HTML file, right? But it's important that you define it first, and then it's up to you how you like it to be presented. It could also be a WordPress page if you're using WordPress for your SOPs and so on. But for this one, this is a custom app that we're building. So we decided to put this specific page in here and lay out all of those questions. So as you can see here is what we do. There's some ribbon. I have asked Claude to help us define this page, lay it out, but I'm not really satisfied yet with the layout, so I'm gonna continue to work with this section. But at least it's very easy in one glance to see what we do, who is it for, the promise, and the number one goal right now. And the output of your page is of course gonna be aligned more to your goal, to where your business stands. And if you want, you can even customize your page so that it records history. Like example, so right now it's July, so this is the current answer. And if I change the answer here, I want that to be recorded as revision so that we have something that we can compare in the future. So that's something I will also add in this one so that it's not like just overridden and we lost that data that we have answered last time. We have that in the history, we have that in the database. So before this, so when you ask, write me a welcome email, right? So it's gonna say, welcome to our amazing community, blah, blah, blah. It's gonna, again, sound very generic, but if you have feed in your brand foundation, then it's gonna be more aligned to how you really talk to your members. It's gonna have specific greeting that aligns with your tone because you have feed your brand foundation. So again, free template is attached in the description. Feel free to grab that, use that. Again, you could add or provide more information if you think there's some question that you should answer to improve the output of your AI prompt. And then answer in your own words, like plain, beat, polish, like just talk. Like I use Whimsical to just talk and it's gonna convert to text. Feel free to use tools like that if you hate typing long, very long time. So you could use tools like that, but answer it from your own words, from your own point of view, and then feed it to your AI as the source of truth. And then again, update it when your business change. It's not something that is fixed, like what you've defined now is going to be the same maybe in the next quarter. Maybe it's going to change, right? Maybe your products or pricing has been updated. So you need to also make sure you update this one. And then once you have this, again, it's up to you if you want to put it in an HTML file document or a custom app that you want to share with your team. Before Claude, we have this, but it was a very manual work. So now with Claude, we're taking advantage of the AI capability and trying to automate that question, trying to improve that question. And again, it would be nice if you could put it in a database with revision so that you have that in the history. That's it for this video. I hope this helped. If you have any question, feel free to comment that down below. In the next video, I'd like to share more sections that we're currently building for our HQ app. But right now, I'm working on the content strategy side, trying to take advantage on AI on how to use that. Another section as well that we've added is we created this chat. So this is gonna answer. This is using the Claude Fable model, and it's gonna answer the questions that you ask based on what's in this app. So based on the database, right? It's not gonna just throw a random one. It's gonna be based on the data that we have stored in this app. So it's gonna be more truth because it's gonna be what's inside the app. So again, if you have defined your brand foundation already, if you ask that question, then this chat is gonna talk to you based on that data. Now, why is it important to have a chat like this in your app? In my opinion, it's something that number one, maybe non-technical team who wants to ask some questions can use and ask question here before it asks you, right? So it saves you time. And if a team is very technical, sure, they could just connect to the server, ask more question, right? But I don't think you want to give access to your server to just anyone else. So having this chat, I think, is gonna help in your process, especially if you build something like this. You create an app, a system that you connect all of your account, all of your app as much as possible in one place, and then you have this chat and it could answer that question. So again, more on that on the next video. I hope this video helps. If you have any question, then how we use AI for membership platform. Currently, this is one area that we are busy building custom app for marketing side, for content strategy side, trying to understand the business better. And then maybe after this, it's gonna be another area. But right now, this is the area that I'm pretty busy. And if you have any question with this, feel free to comment that down below. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.